of it. He listens to the voice, various angles, and when he is visioned to the whole situation, then he decides. Then the Holy Quran says, Tawakkal ala Allah. Then because you have decided in view of what you think should be the will of God, then you do not trust those who advise you. Trust Allah then. He would be with you. So this is the true Islamic democracy. So if you have this wrong conception that Rasulullah Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam used to ask people to raise hands and so on, this is not true. This is why many a time during our consultative sessions like Majlis Shura here today, we, the Khulafa, sometimes put a question, listen to the advices, and do not put the matter to vote at all. Then they express their decision, okay, I've understood the matter, it's enough, this should be the course of action, and everybody agrees. So unanimity is born out of this system which finds no equal in the world. Now, later on, also raising of hands came to be born, and this was sort of acquired as a system of expression of will. Because sometimes the person who is consulting you, although he knows that the final authority of decision lies with him, he wants really to know on which side the majority lies. And he would like to sympathize with the majority sometimes because the matter is not as important. Sometimes there are matters where differences are, just delicately balanced differences. This could be right, that could be right. So in such cases, he does not have to express his own will every time. So this is why this practice took birth in Jamaat Ahmadiyya. People were asked to discuss an issue, debate it, and then ultimately they were asked to express their opinion. Sometimes, in fact, most often than not, the caliph of the time agreed with the majority opinion. Because generally, when such people are enlightened and trained, they also become wise. Their decision making is highly sharpened and enlightened. So most often than not, the majority vote is considered to be on the right side by the caliph. So that is why when I studied the history of Majlis Shura during the time when I was entrusted with the task of writing the biography of the second head of the Ahmadiyya community, I went through all the papers and I was surprised to find that during a khilafat of 52 years, he only had to disagree with the majority opinion a few times. While almost every year this Majlis Shura was called and the matters were discussed in detail, he almost always agreed with the majority. But rarely when he disagreed with the majority and enforced his own decision, within a matter of a month or so, or a short time, let's say, the entire Jamaat learned that his decision was right. If he had agreed with their advice, the Jamaat would have suffered. So this is the Islamic system. Raising of hands is not essential anyway, number one. But if you do it, then it's all right, but it's only just an expression, nothing more. Now, as far as raising of hand in the democracy in general is concerned, and its comparison with the ballot system is concerned, if you ask me, I would prefer the raising of hands far more to the ballot system, because it inculcates courage in you. Open expression of your will requires courage, boldness, and your capability to stand by truth without fear of what people think of you. So this is something very important. I have seen in our Majlis Shuras Some people have only one vote for themselves. They go on expressing themselves. They do not care whether people agree with them, and they're not ashamed of it at all. They are truthful people. They are trained in this. Whatever they believe, they have the courage to express. So why should they hide their vote? When you give the chance of hiding your vote, then you also promote cowardice. You also promote hypocrisy. And when the hypocrisy is not given a chance to exercise, then different things happen. So that is why recently in the Punjab, in the assembly, the People's Party of the Punjab wanted a ballot system, not the expression of will through raising of hands. But there it was not necessarily for the sake of having an honest opinion, but it was something else. What happened there was that there were many members of the Punjab Assembly who had accepted gratifications from the ruling party and the Prime Minister, the Chief Minister of the Punjab. And morally they were bound to take sides with them after accepting those gratifications. And also some members were weak enough, they could not face the patwaris and tehsildars, the small officers of the district standing on their wrong side, because they thought if they opposed the government would have its vengeance upon them through this instrument of police officers and revenue officers and so on and so forth. So that is why People Party insisted that the vote should be by ballot, so that nobody knows who is voting for whom. And they were banking on their opinion to be in their favor if it was a ballot system. So, although the system of openness required boldness, here the purpose was not that. The purpose was to confuse things and to give chance people to be dishonest to the people who had already got a contract with them. They would side with them. So this is democracy. Anyway, you can well say it, that to uphold the values of truth and honesty and fair play, the raising of hands is a much better system, unless, of course, it is misused, let's say, for making people act dishonestly, because otherwise if they don't raise their hands, they will be caught, and the culprits will be caught and they will be punished. That is something which sometimes happens and this shows the human limitations. Even if a system is better, human beings with distorted minds can distort the systems and put it to misuse.
Jazakallah, Hazur. I'll ask the other question some other time, Hazur.
Thank you very much.
Because there may be some to ask.
Pardon?
There may be some other people to ask questions.
You see, as you used to tell me, sometimes you asked short questions and the answers are very lengthy. Sometimes you ask long questions and the answer is very short. This time you asked a long question with a long answer. Right?
Yes, sir.
Good, thank you.
Jazakallah.
So, any other question from ladies' side? First I'll give you preference, please. Then I'll turn to you after this. Yes? No? All right, I invite you, Qureshi Sahib.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Hazur, cooking wines are quite extensively used in Western culture. My understanding is that once you heat wine, it loses its property of intoxicating people. So the question is it okay to eat food cooked in wine or cooking wine.
To do what? To eat food cooked in wine.
Yes, sir.
Now this is again a very delicate question, difficult to answer.